What's going on, everyone? Welcome to this edition of Outside the Box Live, your Saturday night anticipated talk show. And I think it's not connecting them. Yeah, Instagram. God, crap. Oh wait, no. We're on Instagram now too. We're okay. So what's going on, everyone? It is 1 year ago today. FP, myself, did our first live show. Okay, our first live show, and it was not as technology as it is right now. I had a cell phone propped on a tripod. I had my camcorder over on the side. We had FP in the other, in my kitchen on his cell phone. We got our first caller from Jersey. I remember that. Our first caller from New Jersey. So, as always, how was everybody's week? How's everybody's week going on? Good. Yeah, I worked all week. I'm doing mandatory OT, so that's all I did this week.
Well, what I do for a living, I go to a building every day. I do things that suck for people who hate me, and then I come home.
And yeah, they hate me too.
Then I do things that don't suck, and I usually fall asleep in the middle of that. That's kind of how I look at my life.
Yeah, because like I said, I work with Medicare, and I know you work with Social Security. I work with Medicare, and Friday I had to take calls because it was just we had that many people in the call queue, and people are screaming at me because the federal post office made changes to the laws for the post office, but it's my fault. So okay. We got Ted rolling. Thank you for everybody who's hanging out with us. Oh, FP, let me tell you, that Astound's internet, their cable blows, but their internet's awesome. I like their internet. I'm using their internet now.
Oh yeah.
Like I'm uploading videos like boom. But their cable sucks. Their cable channels blow. So guess what I got today, guys? I'm still trying to figure it out though. I got Roku.
You should have told me. I got about 10 of them laying around here. I just give you one.
Well, that's my sister gave me. She had extra. She gave me one too. I didn't know that. I'm like going through the channels. Like I can't get this. I'm like, son of a bitch. So my sister's like, here, we have an extra Roku. Here, take it. Cool.
I have the Roku soundbar, and as a soundbar, I love it. Like it has a Bluetooth bass speaker and everything, so it could be across the room from one another. And whenever I fire up the wireless on the Roku, now the Roku soundbar doesn't. You can't go. You can't wire in. Like you can't. How do I say it? You can't use an Ethernet cable with it. It has to be
wireless.
And whenever I fire up the Wi-Fi on the thing, it screws up Wi-Fi for the entire house. It interferes with cameras. It interferes with
everything,
all kinds of stuff. So I no longer use Roku. I use I have a Samsung 75-inch TV, and I just use all the stuff on there.
What up, Lenny?
Actually, this week was pretty nice because I got a surprise letter from my lawyer for an additional amount to the settlement that we got when we bought the house here.
Okay.
So now I was able to get the nice Christmas presents.
Nice. What's up, Michael? What's up, Lenny? I have Fire TV. I have that, but I always had Xfinity, so I never really started diving into how to use just use that part of it. So I'm trying to learn that too. So yeah, I have Fire TV too. I have Fire TV and Roku. I'm like, cool. Yeah, you suck. So Lenny, how's the missus? How's Mags? How's the baby coming along? It's but yeah, like I was saying in the beginning of this, who's just tuning in now. 1 year ago tonight, me and FP did our first live show. It was awesome. We had our first caller in. His name, wait, he was from Cincinnati. Damn, I can't remember his name. I know you remember his name, FP, but I can't remember his name. Can't remember.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I don't mean to talk loud, but I'm still trying to get used to this. You know, my insurance doesn't cover these.
It did or didn't?
What?
Did you say it did or didn't?
I said my insurance doesn't cover hearing aids until I turn 65.
Yeah, I know. Welcome to Medicare, but whatever you're on, Blue Cross. Yeah. Yeah, I know.
Bless you.
But there is a thing, Jay, that your doctor can try. He could do what's called a coverage determination form with your insurance, saying that you medically need them.
Yeah.
And he can try and get them covered. Well, he has to push and push. Me and Lenny used to do that all the time for MMAI. He remembers. I know you can't forget, man. We're never gonna forget that. But yeah, Lenny, it is AEP. It is AEP time again, and what you call it? Yeah, I'm doing now. The only thing this time, Lenny, is for BCA because we're not HCSC anymore. We're BSB. Wait, shit, BCBSA, and we're open. Bless you. Our lines are open from 8 to 6, so we could do overtime. I've been working 8 to 6, literally 5 days a week. So I'm cranking overtime. And they asked me if I could step in and help for MMAI tomorrow. So I'm working for MMAI tomorrow. MMAI provider line, which no one's gonna call it. Don't sit there and do nothing all day and get paid for it. So in case anybody's wondering about the GF, she is home with she got the flu.
Oh no.
She cannot win. They figured out why she was getting stomach cramps and pains. She was having a side effect to the Ozempic, so she cut the Ozempic. But it took time to get it out of her system. Then she gets the flu. Oh yeah, Lenny, I liked them. Yeah, I mean I was better than CHP. But still tell Mags I'm using her sandwich theory for docking. I'm still using her sandwich theory. She should know what I'm talking about.
Oh.
No.
Topic, but I was talking to Skeeter earlier.
Okay.
He said if it was possible, he would like to come on and congratulate us on our year's anniversary.
Yeah.
I was like, that's Jay, but I'll run it by him.
Yeah, send him a link. Yeah,
I can't send him the link. That's your job, man.
I forgot you're
the key master.
Yeah, I know.
God, that's so loud.
Now, are they tied in? Are they Bluetoothed to your phone or anything? Your phone.
I just wanted a simple hearing aid to do what it's supposed to do. If I need Bluetooth, I have speakers and stuff.
I know some Bluetooth, some ear hearing aids they can Bluetooth.
Right. No, they can't. These were like
I'm trying.
$2.99, and the next option up was like $7.99, and I didn't want to really go all that way. I
Gotcha.
was going to pay lower so I can get more stuff for the kids.
Right.
That's just the way I am.
I'm trying to send Skeeter the link.
I don't. He might even be watching. He might be in the. I don't know.
I just sent him the link to his to Facebook Messenger. So, yeah, Skeeter, if you're watching, come aboard, man. We'd like, yeah, come on, say hi.
Yeah, and even if not, I want to say congratulations to you because his channel is blowing up as well.
Yeah,
He's
and
out.
yeah, he did. He messaged me not the other day, but a while ago, and I got sidetracked with work. Yeah, he said that YouTube now he's a YouTube partner, which is great. That's awesome. That's good. So yeah, so I'm glad that's Skeeter, if you're watching, your channel's doing good too. I had the most last night I was dying for Chinese. So I went to the Hong Kong Chinese in the Midway. I'm like, do I want to just grab a burger from McDonald's or do I want Chinese? I'm like, oh, Chinese. So there's a place in the Midway called Hong Kong, and for a while, because of the COVID, it was only takeout. Well, they finally opened up their dining room. So I go on, I'm like all excited. I'm doing a video. I get General Tao's chicken, like I always love, and like usually you get it. You have the sauce and the pork fried rice and the egg roll. You got a crap ton of rice. You got a nice amount of chicken, but it was barely in any sauce. I'm like, what the hell? There was no broccoli mixed in with it. There was no onion, like with the rice, no egg or onion. Or I'm like, damn. I was disappointed. But I missed the Great Wall. I wish they never. Well, I know the guy had to. They had to do what they had to do. Whereas now the Asian Cafe over in Wyoming or West Pittston, Exeter, however you want to, wherever the borderline, across from Garrity's. Now it's like
really good food. But they had a fire. What they had a fire?
Lenny, when years and years ago, when Mags was when Mags was a SME, or not SME, but ALR line. She called it the sandwich minute, like where you document, you have to click on the attention, whatever, and then you put what you want, and then you put the the closing underneath, almost like a sandwich for document in resolution. She should remember. But yeah, if anybody, let's see. Thank you for everyone who's watching. We appreciate it, and welcome to our birthday show. We always tell them at the beginning of the show. 1 year ago, we started doing our live stuff, and it's been a great ride. We met Mark. I don't know if I didn't see him chime in yet, but Mark and Avenger 6, Marcus, Avenger. Oh, speaking of Avenger, he texted me a couple within the last week, touching base, seeing how everything was going. Still looking forward to coming in next year in 25. He wants to come in and hang with us. That'll be interesting.
Hell yeah.
And guys, in case if anybody's wondering, Fred, the crewman, just came back from assignment, so we should be seeing him next week. I said that we better have pictures. He said he got a ton of them, so hopefully, he was down in Florida.
The democracy-friendly state.
Yeah, I know. I don't go live. I'm not live yet, and nobody texts me. I go live, and everybody in the world's texting me. It's like
No, the only person who really texts me is sitting next to me. So Tracy's going to bed soon. But if you want, she can jump in here right now because I got to get up and do a couple things.
Okay.
He's gonna jump in my grave here.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, he's making me come in here when I'm not feeling well.
I'm sorry. I'm not making.
Yeah, you are.
Mike, changed your shirt.
And change your hair.
I didn't even have glasses on. Well, it's good to see you.
But what's up? But today, I redeemed my food self. I stopped off. I was up in Clark Summit today. Okay. And I met up with Sarah. We were trying to put an event together. It went okay. I was coming back. I saw videos last night for Jersey Mike's Chipotle pastrami sub. This looks good with pastrami and the cheese and the onions and so I stopped off at Jersey Mike's in Wilkes-Barre. I'm all excited. I'm like, yeah, we're gonna do this. Like, can I get that pastrami? We're out of pastrami. I'm like, oh, son of a bitch. So I got their big Kahuna cheesesteak with Chipotle sauce on it, which kicked ass.
What's up, Mark?
Mark is joining us via Facebook. Thank you to the Facebook fans. So I tried their Jersey Mike's does their bakes their bread like Subway, but I think it tastes a hell of a lot better. I gotta say, battle of the fast food chain sub joints. I got to give it to Jersey Mike's. They're higher in price, Subway, but I would say between Subway and Jersey Mike's, got to go with Jersey Mike's. They're a lot better.
Tomorrow, as long as I'm feeling a little better, I'm going to start making my tortillas.
Ooh, tortillas.
The recipe I found is a lot like my mom's was.
Uh-huh.
You can make tons of them and then freeze them. So hopefully I'm feeling better tomorrow.
I hope you're feeling better too.
And I can make them because Mike got me the hot plate that I need for it.
There's a place called Cheers here?
Really?
Yeah, it's it's
I bet you never know our names.
it's either on Luzerne or Exeter Ave. I can't remember, but it's somewhere right near us, FP. But I want to say it's down on Luzerne Ave. I think.
I think so. Yeah.
I saw that picture too. It looked like Sicilian. I was like, oh, this looks pretty good. And I'm like, oh, I saw that post.
Yeah, you had Sicilian pizza from Magnus here.
I still got to get there. I keep forgetting about Magnus. I got to go there because that's one place I have not been at all.
He has amazing food.
They used to be over where Wawa is now in Larksville. Well, not Lark, but going into Plymouth, and it was the same place. And it's funny. Well, not funny, but it's coincidental that back then, before Sheets ripped the building down and built Sheets, they mysteriously had a fire too over in that building. Coincidental. But hey, maybe it just is coincidental. Um, yeah, Mark. Cheers is not too far from me and FP here. You know, the false man himself, the SGW guy hanging. It's so. When you tell her, I said it's all because of her, baby. It's but no, it's been a long week, but it's been a good week, productive. Well, I just worked and made a lot of money, but I did. Yep, I did, Mark. I saw it. I heard someone out. You know, my window is basically like literally right near Wyoming Ave, like one from Wyoming Ave, and I just heard like a car screech or tires come to a stop. Like, oh, I was waiting for the. Did look awesome.
Actually, I saw something cool this week.
What?
On the way up to my doctor's appointment, on the highway, I saw an orange 6x6 Hummer. Yeah,
You don't see them around often anymore.
no, I've never seen one around. That was a pretty big car.
All right, I gotta move out of the way because Mike's back.
Okay. Feel better.
Celebratory champagne. Sure.
It's a yes.
I
I would
be champagne.
I would be drinking wine right now, but I have work at 9 a.m.
Here's to 100 years.
What was that?
I said here's to 100 years.
Yes.
Hopefully 100 more.
Oh,
A little bubbly.
we'll do a symbolic cheers in a moment.
Of course, it's Regina.
I usually drink champagne.
Some foggy.
Wine or a liquor drinker.
What was that, Gene? I couldn't hear you.
I'm more of a wine or liquor drinker.
I like wine.
Melancholy's wine is freaking amazing.
FP, you look like you're in thought. In deep thought. All right, guys. Cheers to 1 year. 1 year of Outside the Box. Cheers to everything.
Things on. I just like drinking champagne because I like champagne. I used to always, when we first moved here, I got onto a champagne kick. Our real estate agent bought us a bottle to celebrate the new property and everything.
Ah.
And after that, I just started drinking champagne all the time because it's like, well, every day is a celebration.
That's true. It is.
I haven't had it in a while, so I decided to. And like I said, it had completely nothing to do with the show, and I just happened to be in Sam's Club. They have the champagne right, Wegmans, sorry. And they have the thing right at the end of the aisle for champagne. Technically, though, Champagne is the region of France where this originates. So anything that comes from the region is Champagne. It's Champagne. Anything outside of the region of Champagne is just simply sparkling white wine.
All I want to give a shout out to my oldest sister. I think she's watching. She just posted it on Facebook. Cheers to the 1 year. Thank you, Lean, big sister, my oldest sister.
Yeah, never call a woman big. They don't like that.
She kicked my ass. Mrs. Crewman's watching. Mrs. Crewman's watching. Oh, and Fred's watching too. They're. If anybody's wondering, Fred just came back from assignment, so he's unpacking and chilling out. The assignment was Florida. He's down in Florida for Outside the Box Live. No, it really wasn't, but that's what we're saying. It sounds better. So he will hopefully be with us next week. But
yeah, it's mythical.
But FP, like I said, I was with Sarah today for a little bit. She says hello. And we were up at an event. We were up at Clark Summit. It's called Sticky Weeds. It's called Sticky Weed. Ooh, hope she's okay, I hope everything works out, Mark.
Oh boy.
It's So what we were actually doing up there, we're trying to get the weddings for next year to boost the weddings back up again. Because this year everything just died down. But I was working. I was working too, a lot more, and I couldn't do it. So, all right, the crewman is here. He's with us in spirit. It's Outside the Box Live 1 year birthday edition.
Technically, he's outside the box.
What was that, Mike?
I said technically he's outside the box.
He technically, yes, he is. He's in the chat.
I'm all over the box, Mike. I'm everywhere.
Yes, you are, FP. Also, as always, can't forget, got to give a shout out to Jancy. He messaged me around 6:30. What's the show going to be like? I'm like, it's birthday time, baby.
That fee gets kind of messy or anything out of salary.
But yeah, for you guys that live outside of our area, if there's a Jersey Mike's near you guys, let me know what's your favorite sub, because I really like that big Kahuna. That was really, really good. I mean, other than the normal Italian, but the big Kahuna I thought was really good. The only thing, for the price they charge you for a regular, I thought it would be a little bit bigger, but that was my only critique. It was damn good. You got the grilled onions, mushrooms, cheese, peppers, onions, and I hit it with that chipotle. And I want to give a shout out. I don't know if she's watching, but Tammy from Sticky Weeds. It was nice. It was nice meeting you guys today. Thank you for being an affiliate with us now. Oh, there's the little puppy. There's Killer. Pepper.
It's her birthday, Pepper. We're outside the box. It's 1 year. I know you just woke up. I'm so sorry.
Mike's stuck in the box.
Upstairs.
And if you want to send me a chili dog, just click that QR code. I'll take you to the website. There's a spot there to donate to the food cause. Has been warm enough for bike riding, like watching the videos. No, at least not for me anyway. It's been too damn cold.
I'll try to make one tomorrow, Mark.
Also, he'll ride the bike in any weather. I'll be like, me, no. Too cold.
I rode it to Garrity's. It's cool.
It is cool. Have you been to the C? Have you been to the CBC? Oh, what the CBC? The CD? No, the smoke shop down in Heritage Shopping Center. Have you been there
Yeah.
lately?
Yeah.
How they doing?
They're doing pretty good.
Good. Yeah, they were nice guys.
Yeah. They just got a new puppy, actually. It's on their Facebook page.
I'll have to check it out. Oh, when I went to the Sticky Wheats today, they have a dog. They have their dog there. It's a Rottie, 6-year-old. I think she said it was 6-year-old Rottie. It's a big baby. Like I was like, oh my god, this thing's a big baby. But it was a good dog. It was a nice dog. What do I got? Anything coming up this week? I just put up the general PF Chang's beef and broccoli, which I like. I like their shrimp lo mein one better. Let's see. What do I got coming up this week?
Tell you what, man, I was watching that thing with the beef and broccoli.
PF Chang's.
Yeah, some of that beef, man, looked like you could like take 2 pieces of bread and make a sandwich out of it.
Yeah, you could. I mean, that wasn't bad. Don't get me wrong. I like the shrimp lo mein one better. I thought this would have like more to it, but it was just literally beef, broccoli, and sauce. So like if I get it again, I'm gonna have to put so you have to add something to it.
Right.
Like rice
Yeah, right.
or something.
Noodles,
Something, yeah.
rice and noodles.
Oh, I'd do it. So next week I'm having the Hong Kong General Tao's video up, and also my older sister. Now I have an older sister. I have an older sister. My oldest sister's one that chimed in and watched us and said happy 1 year. My older sister, she actually, her mother-in-law taught her how to make the family tomato sauce, their marinara sauce. So she gave me something to try. It has meatballs in it, sausage. So that'll be a home cooking video next week. Trying the sauce.
When I make my tortillas this weekend, I'll try to make a video. It's really hard for me though. I can't do editing and all that.
Do your best.
What Gina said.
I was gonna red smile too, see how that is.
I can do everything.
So hello to the Facebook family, the YouTube family, the Instagram family. Thanks for hanging with us. Mark, how was that?
Mark, I watched Smile 2 and I was really creeped out about it.
You mean a video, a horror movie actually creeped you out, Miss Queen of the Horror Films,
Exactly. Yes.
and it creeped you out.
The original Smile movie creeped me out.
I never saw. I saw the previews for Smile 2, and I'm like, didn't know there was a Smile 1.
Yeah, it's.
Let's leave the camera face this way.
See,
Yeah.
you like the tank top.
I love that tank top.
I'm sure he does
Maybe you can wear it.
because he likes it.
Seriously. All right, Mike, put it back on you. So really, it's not my fault. I feel like I don't look as well either. So
No, it is really good.
I don't want to freak anybody out.
I think our audience will not get freaked out.
I'm handling it quite well.
It's yeah, and that's why I also want to thank my older sister for hooking me up with the Roku. Because I wasn't expecting that. Still trying to figure it out. And So I'm gonna keep the internet. I'm gonna ditch the cable. Worst case, if I have to, I will get an antenna for my TV downstairs for like the live locals for the local channels, and just basically with the basic cable from Astound. All you really got is it's really the antenna channels with maybe one or two extra, but that's it. No TBS, no USA, no nothing. I'm like, shit.
Tell you what, if one of your sisters has, like, say, like up in their attic or something, has the old rabbit ears,
Uh-huh.
like the old style antennas they used to sit on
Yeah.
top of the TV,
I
they
remember
actually
those.
work really well for digital.
Really?
Yes, absolutely. They're geared towards it really well. Um, I have an old style outdoor rabbit ear antenna, so it's like a really good one. So I used to work in that industry. I used to, get local channels for like hotels like Ramada,
Right.
and all that. Like that was part of what I did. I'd get satellite and over the air signal to hotels all over Jersey. But anyway, so I know the good stuff. I bought myself a Winegard bow tie antenna. It's supposed to be outdoor, and when it worked really well. Right now, I just have it behind my TV to get local stuff. It doesn't do all that well because it's behind 2.5 feet of brick. But
Yeah, and that's something about getting an antenna for downstairs. I got for my upstairs. I got I got the antenna. That's like it's the black like rectangle antenna. It's supposed to be like the best to get you all the chat. And yeah, no.
now the real you got to go to a place like Winegard. I mean, Winegard antennas are amazing. Blonder Tongue. I'm not sure if they're still in business. Um, Blonder Tongue makes excellent antennas. It all depends on the kind of channel you're trying to pull in too, and also too, where we are, you're better off with having two. Like I'm sure everybody knows what a cable splitter is. They work in reverse too. As long as it doesn't have a hot leg, if it has a diagram on the front of the splitter that shows you a line from the single output to the one of the double outputs, that's called a hot leg. That means it's one split channel is hotter than the other. You want one that's equally split, and that would just have nothing on it.
Right.
Anybody needs one, let me know. I worked in the industry for a long time. I have a lot of old stuff like that. But I mean, literally, you could probably go on Amazon and find a non-hot leg splitter for probably like less than $5. And you wire two antennas in at once, and then put the single part you wire into your TV. Now, what you want to do is 22 is like off on its own, doing its own thing. It's over, 22, and I believe 38. They're on a mountain in Lackawanna County. I forget the name of it. But you want to point one antenna in that direction, and then point the other antenna in the direction of Penobscot, where all the other antennas are, or all the other broadcasting towers are. That way you can get everything. You're with one of those little black little pad thing. Forget that.
I mean, I have it upstairs, and literally I want to throw it out the window, but then I won't get nothing for it because my upstairs TV is not a smart TV. It's just a regular flat screen. I got it for like $10. I'm like, but my downstairs TV is a smart TV. So I'm seriously thinking about telling this down. Take back your cable. I'm just gonna keep the internet and get like an antenna and keep the Roku.
Do you have Prime?
Do I have what?
Do you have Amazon Prime?
No, I don't anymore. I did years ago. I had Amazon like years ago, but
If you have Amazon Prime, they have a lot of programming that you can get for them.
my sister was telling me that they have because they have Amazon. They're part of the Prime, so they get the free channel.
Yeah.
soon as I have to sign up for Amazon Prime each month, I'm like, but I'm gonna still get there. Like, I'm trying to like save myself, like going to subscriptions and everything.
Honestly, it's
You wanna-
cheaper to go with the streaming than it is to go through cable.
Oh yeah, I'm learning that like really quick. I mean, I liked cable. Don't get me wrong, because like I'd watch. I am at first when I got rid of my cable, I missed the food channel. I'm like I'm missing the food channel, the travel channel, which channels I watch all the time.
I'm
But
on the Discovery Channel.
But with the Roku, at least I could find. I mean, I can't find like the Food Network, but I could find TV shows and crap.
I'm just seeing Mark said he hasn't seen the original Smile. Oh, the original Smile movie was creepy.
I actually have Paramount Plus.
It's not as creepy as Smile.
Well, Gina has Paramount Plus.
Nice, Mark.
Paramount Plus I have through my friend account. Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to start. Being I'm not working, I'm gonna have to start pulling back on.
I told them. Yeah,
I
watch it. I watch it too.
I understand, but at the same time, I don't like borrowing money.
It's not borrowing if I'm watching too. Now we're permanently in this camera position, which I'm fine with.
I am going to be going up soon. Willow needs some attention.
Is that what we're calling it these days?
Willow is the kitten that might be pregnant. Might or might not be pregnant.
She came to it that way. The boys are all fixed, so.
We have to wait another month and a half to make sure she's not. If she's pregnant, I have people who want kittens already. And I have people who want her.
Oh boy.
I want you to want me.
Never heard of Philo, crewman. Fred never heard of Philo.
I never had cable TV in my adult life, actually.
$25 a month for Philo. No.
I have to look into that. I've never.
Most of my other ones add up to that, and we get filled channels from Philo.
I basically pay for two things. I'm a Rumble. I don't know if you guys heard of Rumble, but Rumble is a streaming service. It's like YouTube, but without all the censorship.
Gotcha.
Rumble, like I'm a Mug Club member, which got basically transitioned over to a Rumble Premium account, and I'm also I'm an ex like I have an ex premium like Elon's Twitter. I have an X premium account. And
I have an X account, but it's not. I don't have a premium account for X.
Well, I got the little blue check mark thingy, and then when you get the little blue check mark thingy, you find out that for another $11 a month, you could be a premium verified member. It gets you like other stuff, and it's like, no, I'm not. I got the little blue checky. I'm fine with that. He looks aggravated.
Yeah.
I
figured since FP has his doggy in there.
His ears are flat, and that's never good.
Sorry, baby.
And he's got a pop like this, like he's ready to swat.
Yeah. Screw you here. That's a Savior or a 20-pound cat.
Basically, he's the one I always say he has a butt like a bowling ball.
What?
All right, what I want to show really quick was today I was at a place called Sticky Weeds. It's like 2-3 minutes.
That's a sticky weed.
Let's hear the audio when it comes on.
What's going on outside the box, fans?
Can you hear that?
You know, I'm your SGW guy. I want to introduce to you one
Sounds
of
like
our
you're announcing a baseball game.
Okay, it's my first time here, so just kind of new to this myself. But like candles, like this is more like a spiritual shop.
Oh, spiritual Rubik's Cube.
I'll put the address in the description. We're up here in Clark Summit.
It's a nice little place up there, let me tell you.
Oh, what's it?
Books. Yes. Chai teas, wool teas. So they got a lot of So guys, if you're in the area, check out Picky Weeds. They got a lot of great stuff. Tell them that you guys sent you. Until next time, be blessed and safe. All right, guys, I'm here still at Picky Weeds, Picky Weeds, and I'm here with one of the owners named Tammy, and let her tell you about the place.
Come in anytime. We have something for everybody. We cater to not one single faith, but all faiths and all paths. Even if you have no path, we can cater for you. So come down and see us. We carry a wide range of crystals, books, some rare books, all kinds of incense, candles, clothing. And I'm an herbalist of 40 years, and I can help you with any herbal needs you might have. And we make it really good blessed. You can have, we come in with these samples every day.
What are your hours?
We are open 12 to 8, Wednesday through Sunday.
And what's your phone number?
It is God, don't ask me that. 919-478-7491.
Well, Tammy, thank you for letting us come out today. We appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Guys, check them out. Picky Weeds.
Glad to have you.
Dude, you were saying sticky weeds before.
But yep, that is Sticky Weeds. I was there today.
I swear to God, it sounds like you're saying sticky weeds.
It's called Picky Weeds. I was confusing myself today too. So yeah, it's probably. Let's see.
Sticky weeds.
Crewman said heard something about YouTube TV. I was looking into that too, and I started downloading it, and I didn't finish it because I don't know how much space it's going to take because I only have a laptop now. It's like an emulator. It's like for YouTube. You can play YouTube TV, and I got to finish downloading. I didn't finish it. But yeah, that might be a possibility too. I'm kind of looking into that. I don't think there's a for that. Well, unless you have to buy like subscription or something, but I don't think YouTube TV costs anything. You just have to have a YouTube account. I think. Could be wrong.
Extra on YouTube.
That's YouTube Premium, though. He's talking
YouTube Premium.
he's talking YouTube TV.
YouTube TV, if you want to watch it, if you want to watch movies with a lot of commercials, then you get it for free.
Yeah, Gina has a YouTube Premium account, which I really enjoy.
Oh, I have a YouTube Premium account because I can't stand the ads. The ads drive me nuts. You get into a video and all of a sudden there's an ad. I'm like, son of a bitch.
Music on TV. I'll put on like the music videos and just like let that blast throughout the house.
Oh, it's funny because False might even hear me. Well, you won't hear me that far away, but like when I get my spurts and I'm up at like 6 in the morning, I'm jamming YouTube music, like jamming the Kiss. I'm making breakfast. I'm like, if you saw it, you probably think I'm freaking nuts.
I listen to everything, but mostly what shows up because what I usually end up liking are a lot of the country songs. Like my first concert ever was Lyle Lovett. My
first
second
one
concert was a ska
John's in the house. John Marconi is in the house. What's up, John?
John.
Hey, John.
He's following us from one of our paired channels or paired blah, blah,
He's on
paired
my
channels through Facebook. It's all right. Now, is anybody here a Trekkie or like Star Trek at all?
You really have to ask.
Not me.
Oh, I absolutely hate Star Trek.
Here, all right.
Especially the Dengays.
In my trying to find something to watch on YouTube because like I don't have good cable channels anymore. It's not an actual Star Trek, but it's a fan-made animation movie that this guy put together. And let me tell you, if anybody likes Star Trek, this guy did a hell of a for just being like working at it. Not he's not an actor. He's just but let me tell you, he did really good work with this. If anybody wants to check it out, putting the link in the chat.
Hey, do you like the original Star Trek from the 60s?
So.
Okay, if you go on YouTube, there's a group of people, a small production company. They have a thing. It's called Star Trek Continues, and it's basically, it's like essentially like the adventures of the Enterprise after like the old crew moved on, and it's like they did a total recreation of the original set. They do it like almost like as a period piece where they have correct kind of costumes. Period correct.
I saw that and I'm like, oh, this is pretty cool. Like it's like the original Enterprise bridge.
Right. Yeah, like I said, it's actually called Star Trek Continues.
This one that I'm talking about, the guy did it like an animation version. But the way he did it, and I don't know how he did it, but whatever program he did, it turned out like really, really good. Like there's something called Star Trek Lower Decks, I think, on Netflix or something.
Yeah.
And I saw parts of it on YouTube. I thought it was stupid. But this guy's here, like his animation should be on that channel instead of on YouTube. That's how good he made it. And just for the house making it together. Pepper, what you doing?
Maybe upstairs.
Tina says she might join in from the upstairs.
All the way upstairs.
Yeah, so just hanging out tonight. Like nothing other than working. Nothing else new. Oh, last Sunday, there's a pizza place on Main Street in Pittston called Althea Pizza.
I saw
And
that.
what was that?
I saw your thing with that.
And let me like, it used to. I whoever remodeled this did a hell of a job because it used to be a bank, and you actually see the vault. It's like cool, and
No. Okay.
it reminds me of back in the day, like of like do you remember E62 East? It was like a more like it was a pizzeria, but more like a restaurant-y.
Yeah.
That's what it reminded me of. It's funny because I'm sitting there. I ordered, it was there, so I ordered. I took back my Xfinity equipment. I'm coming back. I'm like, you know what? Let's try it. So I'm like, I just ordered a soda. The girl comes over with a glass full of ice, cracks my soda pour. I was like, wow, that's service. It's like poured my soda. I was like, damn.
Switch it back over to headphones again.
Ah, gotcha.
Yes, that's because Gina and I both, so in the room and all that. But
Mark,
I know I could hear better, and I know you guys can probably hear me better.
You were kind of muffling a little bit, but we could still hear you. But I can hear you better now. Like
yeah,
more clearer now.
Yeah, these things they're JBLs. They're great. They're Bluetooth headphones and microphone. I got this on Amazon because she's a Prime member, so that means I'm a Prime member because I live at the same address. And so like these are like literally they're $50 headphones. I got them for like $20. Like they were having, it was like a flash sale.
Okay.
And I was like looking for a something like this. Like I have all kinds of like Bluetooth earbuds, but when I'm at work, people just walk up to me and start talking to me, and I'm like, "You're a silent movie to me right now. What are you saying?" So I figured with these, like, okay, well, these are more visible,
Right.
Yeah, it doesn't work. They still talk at me like I'm, not
You hear them.
listening to. I'm not listening to whatever I'm listening to. It could be a lecture by Sat Guru. It could be a lecture from Jiddu Krishnamurti. It could be Nine Inch Nails, The Downward Spiral. But whatever it is, it's generally pretty damn loud. And I'm just standing there like, you're talking to me, right?
Yep.
Because if you are, you're a silent movie.
Excuse me.
Bless you.
Thank you.
So sorry, FP. We got the Darth Vader thing back again.
Oh, you're good.
But he could hear you now. He could actually now hear you better.
Well, it's another thing too. Like the way I have to angle this, the microphone's at the bottom of the phone, so it's angled away from me. There's all kinds of, like I said, Gina was here. I wanted, she wanted to chime in with anything. I wanted everybody to be able to hear her.
Yeah, I did not know that the guy who played Goober would turn down the spot of Spock. Did not know that.
Who? What?
Do you remember the Andy Griffith Show?
Vaguely. I wasn't really into it.
I wasn't either, but the guy who played Goober, this guy.
Jim. That's Jim Neighbors.
No, Jim Neighbors. He was Gomer Pyle.
Oh. I guess I'm getting them mixed up in my head like Goober Pyle.
I would have thought the same thing. With this guy who played the character Goober, Mark said that he was given the role of Spock, and he said no. Oh, wow.
It would be illogical for Goober to be Spock.
Ernest Borgnine.
I had heard different. I heard that Shatner was always, chosen. Like not always, because I mean they had the. I'm talking after the pilot, after the first pilot failed.
Right.
That they had Shatner in mind for the role the entire, like, for the second version of it. They had Shatner in mind for the role, and him and Nimoy were actually good friends prior to Star Trek, and they had started as kind of like a precursor. They had actually starred in a couple of episodes of The Man from U.N.C.L.E. together, more or less to like get used to working with one another, kind of thing.
Right. But I think
Because Shatner was always Spock. He's the only person from the original pilot who made it. Unless you count Roddenberry's wife. What's her face?
Margel.
Majel Barrett. She originally played the first officer in the pilot.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And, yeah, she's the lady with dark hair that Christopher Pike kept calling number one.
Okay, yeah. I wonder why they got rid of like the Pike character.
He ended up starring as Jesus Christ in a movie about like one of those movies you see around I can't remember I can't remember his name, the actor's name, but he ended up playing Jesus.
Okay.
And he couldn't reprise the role. The studio specifically, CBS specifically had said that they didn't want the Spock character back, and they didn't want the number one character back. They didn't like Majel Barrett, and they ended up. I mean, that's his girlfriend, wife, whatever, mother of his kid. He was also messing around with Nichelle Nichols at the same time. Roddenberry was a horn dog. But Majel Barrett came back. They bleached her hair blonde, and she came back as Nurse Chapel.
Oh, that was Nurse Chapel.
Yep, she was a recurring character.
So Nurse Chapel was actually Roddenberry's wife, girlfriend.
Yeah, I mean they got married. They got married years later.
Eventually, yeah. But it's like when they did the Picard spinoff, and now
which was really good, by the way.
Yeah, I the first couple episodes though, it was I'm like, oh man, they're gonna kill this. It was the first couple episodes were slow, I thought anyway. But then,
well, it's Star Trek. It always is.
Yeah,
you got to give it time.
That's it. When I'm like, wow, that's pretty cool. Then like you'd see like Riker make an appearance.
He directed. Jonathan Frakes actually directed a few of those episodes.
I believe it. For the final season, they had him like he was like full time character, and the guy who played Worf. Like the one part I had to laugh because Worf's using his big sword and kicking people's asses and killing people.
I am a warrior.
And then like Riker goes, "You had a gun?" Like you had a gun. This is more fun, like I like killing people first with a slave than a gun.
With alacrity, Mr. LaForge. With alacrity.
Buns. What up, Jansay? BK bro, Mr. Jancy. It's the snake. There's whatever the hell you call it, worm, snake.
That's me. That's just me in screensaver mode.
Oh, okay. It's but when the last or next to last episode when they brought back the Enterprise D, I was watching on YouTube. It was like they're like I guess they were showing it as a pre or something, and they had this big audience. And when they showed the Enterprise, like the whole audience went into like a freaking roar, like more than you see it like the Super Bowl or
yeah. They had it like in a scrapyard or something, right?
I don't know how they pulled it off, but I mean they said they had to when they rebuilt the bridge of the Enterprise D, like they had to go and find like it wasn't like 1, 2, 3. They had to really search for this, but they pulled it off. The Great Escape probably had more big named actors than almost any movie made. It's a
No,
mad
I'm watching League of the Prairies.
Mark. I never saw it, but the only thing I could say that might compare to it would be the second one sucked, but the first Cannonball Run, they had big names in that one, big name actors. I never saw The Great Escape though, so I don't know who played in that.
Back in the 60s and 70s, though, they were great for stuff like that.
Oh yeah,
I mean, you look at a movie like Caddyshack.
one of the best movies still to this day.
Well, who do you think the best captain was, Jay? Kirk or Picard?
Is that a question or was that your question?
That was a question to you.
No, but it was from you. I didn't see it in the chat. Was that from you?
Yeah.
Oh, because I thought maybe it was in the thing. I don't know, man. That was always a tough question. Who is the better captain, Kirk or Picard? I don't know. Because, like,
I submit to you, Mr. Spock, right next to the dog-faced boy, Spock.
Avenger 6 is in the house, baby. He is here. Avenger is with us. The man, the myth, the legend, Avenger 6. Here for the birthday show.
Steve McQueen. So Rick Harris from Pawn Stars is in the house. Like, because he just has a major Rick from Pawn Stars has like a major man crush on Steve McQueen. And he has the money to go out and buy, like, the car from Bullitt, which was, I believe, was an old Mustang, if I'm thinking of the right car. But he would buy like all the Steve McQueen memorabilia, screen use stuff, and he had a major blind spot when it came to anything Steve McQueen.
But Caddyshack, if they tried to put anybody other than Ted Knight in Dangerfield, I don't think it would have done as good as it did.
Ted Knight
were good. Don't get me wrong, but
Ted Knight was like one of the funniest people alive at the time.
Oh, I know. Between him and Dangerfield, like you were like rolling like through the whole. You did not stop rolling laughing.
And it's amazing that I think we discussed this once before. Ted Knight actually was dying of cancer during the filming of that movie.
Yeah, you were saying, and at that point, I didn't know until you.
Yeah, he died. He died shortly, I believe, before it was released or after, which is a damn shame. The man was so funny.
I even liked him in Too Close for Comfort.
Mary Tyler Moore show. I mean, anything he was in, he was absolutely hilarious. He's sitting there like he's reading the news. And he's like, "There's a brown speck on your." Oh. Because he played like the news anchor.
Oh, okay.
And they would always he would just rip and read anything that he had in his hand. Meanwhile, in other news, which I don't know if you knew that. If you remember Super Friends, the Saturday morning cartoon.
Watched it every Saturday.
Okay.
Up,
remember the voice? Sorry?
I said, hi, Susan.
Hi, Susan. Remember the voice? Meanwhile, at the Legion of Doom.
Yeah.
That was Ted Knight.
I know.
Ted Knight did all the voiceover work for Super Friends.
Stop throwing rocks at me. Kylan Hub joining us from YouTube. Stop throwing rocks at me. Okay, I'm not familiar where that one came from. What's going on, Kylan Hub? Thanks for hanging out with us tonight. Oh, Avenger, I literally talking about the Super Friends. I would watch every Saturday morning. I'd be up downstairs with a bowl of cereal watching the Super Friends.
Solomon Grundy.
I like Bizarro. He was me, Bizarro. What's up, Superman? Yep. Then it's funny, in challenging the Super Friends, against the Legion of Doom. Lex Luthor would have this like, I got the got the plan. We're gonna, and like every time they get defeated. Yeah, I would have loved for them to do like years later, like have like the return of the Legion of Doom, like, and put so like even like it was like a show on YouTube or something. I think that would have been cool.
Well, getting back to Ted Knight, he was just a really, really funny guy. I mean, the way he played comedy completely straight just made it hilarious.
I liked him in the part in Caddyshack, the day after, the kid like was supposed to be hooking up with Denise, and the next day he's like, next day at his office he's like,
with the lamp.
Yeah. Sorry.
So we don't need a lot of loose talk.
I like Chevy Chase, like, Judge, my dad never liked you. And when Ted Knight was yelling at Rodney Day, he's like, "You'll never be a member here. This whole place sucks." And like Ted Knight, "That's right, it sucks."
The only reason I'm here is I'm thinking about I might just buy the place.
What was a show where that was Too Close for Comfort? Cosmic Cow. No, it was Cosmic Cow.
Yeah.
And then like I don't know, it wasn't technically a spin-off, but it was like Too Close for Comfort, like the girls who played the two girls were gone, or like they moved on, and Ted, like his characters started like working for like a newspaper thing, and I didn't realize that. I was watching, it was Sunday. I turned on Antenna TV. I'm like, "Oh, Too Close for Comfort." I'm like, "Wait a minute, this, like, when did he work in a newspaper or for a newspaper?" But it was actually like, I guess I don't know, it was a spin-off because it was still Too Close for Comfort. But it was him, the lady who played Muriel, Monroe, but they all worked for this now newspaper. And there was no more Cosmic Cow. I tried to get.
Yeah. I'm going to try to help her with it.
Nope, that's Mike for a minute. He's going to help Gina get in on her phone. But so until they come back, take some chat questions and things like that. Let's see. Oh, Mike, trying to get in.
Okay, Gina, if you could hear.
There you are. All right. Oh, shit. Hold on. All right, there he is. No, you need to check on Instagram. Make sure we're still going on. Yeah, we're still on Instagram. Kicking on Instagram. I didn't watch it because I'm like, I kind of refused to watch it. They redid The Fall Guy with Ryan Reynolds, or Ryan Reynolds playing Colt Seavers. I'm like, no, can't watch it.
For Gina, I sent you an email with the link. Follow the link in either Gmail or in Chrome, and make sure that your chat bubbles are like, just move them to the bottom and like close out of your chat bubbles. It'll work then, because she's trying to get in with her phone.
Gotcha.
And that's just what you have to. I mean, for my phone anyway, that's what I have to do.
You have to jerry rig it.
Well, what it is, like if I follow the link through, like when you send it in Messenger. In fact, if you send it to me by email, you help me save stuff.
Send me your email. Send me your email, and I will. Moving forward, I will. I don't have your email.
Okay. But yeah, like I said, if you for us or for me, if I follow the link through Messenger, it opens in Messenger, and it creates all kinds of problems.
Oh, there she is. Oh, damn it, the hell. I don't know why my computer's glitching. My laptop's glitching. There she is. We just don't have her audio, but she's here, but no audio, no video yet. Give her a moment or two.
Maybe I don't want to have audio or video.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
LOL. Just kidding.
No, I never got into Johnny Quest. I never got into that.
Really?
Yeah, I just could not get into Johnny Quest. There she is.
Gina, turn the rotation on your
I
phone.
tried to turn it. Yeah.
Yeah, well,
It's
you have
not
your
working.
rotate. Well, you have it locked. Remember?
Hold on. LOL. I have to find my remote first.
You didn't like Johnny Quest.
I never got into it. It's not that I didn't like it. I just never got into it.
Like Haji, like Sim Salabim.
Yeah, I'm trying to turn it. Yeah. I'm trying to do mute. Hold on. I had to do mute first.
You have your rotation locked on your phone.
Oh, that's right. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Better?
Much better.
I wish I knew how to turn the camera, because right there's Willow. Hey, Willow. Here?
Yes, I'm waiting to get your cat, Mike.
Well, it's technically not my cat. She's kind of just a foster.
She's the one we are hoping to find a home for. She might be pregnant, so we're trying to make sure she's not.
Gotcha.
Before we can find her a home. And I brought Nove in. And I have no idea where Nove is right now. Nove! Nove! Where are you? He was eating the food that she's eating right now.
Ah, yeah, when you're hungry, you gotta eat.
What's that?
I said you gotta make sure she ain't pregnant yet.
Exactly.
They gotta eat.
Before I can find her a home, I have to make sure she's not pregnant.
Right.
And if she is pregnant, I want to make sure she has kittens. They're old enough to be adopted out and get her fixed.
We're gonna see who's with us.
Anybody get a hold of Skater yet?
I sent him the link. I messaged him the link, like, here, come on, join us. Never responded back, so I don't know. Let's see, on my Facebook page. Okay, Steph. Oh, GF chimed in and said hi, guys. So the GF says hi.
Hello.
So Don Jake. Oh, nice. Yo, Don Jacobs, the dude from Pennsylvania Outdoor Life. He's watching us on Facebook. Hey, what's up, Don? Hey, maybe we could be part of your show someday. I don't know, but Don, you're always welcome to be part of our show. Just remember.
Well, if he wants to do anything with cats, he can always come over here, and we'll have him on.
There you go. See, Don, now you got some opportunity other than 16.
Our backyard sees more than just cats. We have seen deer. We've seen bear.
I remember that cartoon, Dungeons and Dragons. I remember that. I remember that. That's sad. I don't know if that's sad or good. But there was. Let's see. I remember the cartoon Saturday mornings. Oh, I'm trying to think, and I'm blanking. Called old age. Oh, they did a cartoon version of the Dukes of Hazzard. I remember that on 22. And what else?
Hey, no way. No way.
All right, I got one for you, Venture. Do you remember the cartoon Donkey Kong and Donkey Kong Jr.? There was
I do not
Pac-Man.
remember the cartoons, but I remember the video games, the Nintendo games.
Yeah, they came out.
Does that make me old?
Yep, makes me old.
Okay, thanks.
I'm older than you.
Yeah, but not by much.
I just rewatched The Godfather the other day. Loved the opening monologue. Yeah, there was. Then they made let's see. Was it on 6? I don't think it was on. I think it was on 22 or 28. But they had the cartoon Donkey Kong Jr. I think on 16 they had Cuba. I don't know if it was 16 or 22. And it was Pac-Man. That was a card. I remember the Pac-Man cartoon. I can't remember if there's any other like things that they turn into cartoons.
Hour number 2.
Oh yeah. Godfather was a classic. That was a good.
Dungeons and Dragons. You could find it online. There was an entire script. They were supposed to have like in the 3rd season. They were supposed to go home, and they had an entire episode written out as a finale where they all the kids went home.
Did it ever air? Or no.
No, it never aired. But you could find like what they've written in the writers' room and sort of like a makeshift script to you can use your imagination and
Put it together.
Like what happened, like how they got sent home. So again, celebrating in a year. I haven't been here for that full year, but stuff.
It's
Sorry, I'm typing at the same time as we're doing this video. As somebody messaging me who's willing to help me with my hair and that.
HR Puff and stuff. That was the Greatest American Hero. That was a good TV show. I like that.
Believe it or not, this show is still on.
Yeah. Show, but I loved it. It was like they tried to make like the Greatest American Hero was like a Superman, but he always like I don't want to say messed up. But, he always like
he didn't understand. He didn't understand his powers. He couldn't control it.
Right, because he lost the manual. He lost the book.
When he tried to fly, he looked like an idiot.
But it was still a good movie. It was still a good show, though. It was still a good show.
And then there was there was an Italian ripoff of it, and it was called Puma Man.
I didn't know that. I remember that.
Puma Man is like patently ridiculous. It stars no one, and to put it as Mystery Science Theater 3000 put it, when you start looking at all the names in the credits, it's like every name is like ends in a vowel. And because I mean, it was like filmed in Italy, but it was actually no subtitles. It was all in English. But the way Mike and the Robots put it in very succinctly. It was written by a bunch of hairy guys in thongs.
Nope.
Sat down and wrote a screenplay.
So we got 70 people watching on my profile, and on the page, 42 people check this out.
Well, you know, Bay, I know you're in here.
So, guys, everybody who's checking out us tonight, thank you very much. Appreciate it. We all appreciate it. MSTK3. What was that?
Oh, and if you guys want to talk about the live action puppet
Oh,
stuff,
Bay.
you can't forget about the Great Space Coaster.
Oh, I remember. Yeah, I remember that.
There's no Bay.
Gorilla, Gary Gnu, Edison the Elephant. The Great Space Coaster. Get on board.
First.
Susan, I remember the monkeys. I love the monkeys.
Hey, we're the monkeys. Other than the monkeys, I think like I'm trying to think. The Great Space Coaster, was that the first actual up show from our time that actually they played music?
Yeah, maybe.
It was.
That was like the very early 80s, I believe.
Yeah. Then I don't know if he watches the show, but and I'm blanking his name. Son of a bitch. Oh crap. Let me figure out who I'm talking about. Then I'll bring back to that.
Mark, I'm so old that I can remember like when Johnny Quest would come on.
I know that.
They'd have Race Bannon's voice saying, "Tonight, Johnny Quest, brought to you by Downey."
Come on, Nove.
Or brought to you by Kennel Ration.
I remember shows that are like, sponsored by Sharp, or
Every other time you want to be in the limelight. That's
Nove's a great cast.
I have him in the bedroom with Willow.
He's like a little ambassador.
One by one. She didn't do too good with our ambassador.
Susan, Mystery Science Theater 3000 is probably one of the most brilliant shows on TV.
Never watched it, but
I've seen it too many times.
My baby, this is my baby right here.
Oh, that's Kitty.
That is Nove. He was our ninth kitty in here, and Nove means 9 in Italian.
Ah, see, we all learned something new tonight, guys.
His brother is Otto, which means 8.
Otto 8, Nova 9 in Italian. Did not know that.
And they both came in 8 and 9.
Coincidental or not? That's the question.
Well, they're brothers.
Well, that's we couldn't figure out names for them, and Mike was like saying 8 and 9, 8 and 9. So I went online and I said, "What are 8 and 9 in other languages?"
Otto and Nova.
Otto and Nove.
Nove.
E with the slash over it.
Oh, okay.
And it's stuck. Nove, though, here's the lovable one. I could be laying down and he'll come up. I'll put my hand up like this and he'll stop. But the minute I move my hand away, he starts inching up. He wants to be as close as he can to my mouth.
Oops.
Yeah.
Avenger, if you want to talk British comedy, Faulty Towers, The Young Ones.
Do you hear Daddy? Do you hear Daddy?
The only
British they based The Young Ones on Faulty Towers in a lot of ways.
The only British show that I actually watched that I knew was the Benny Hill show, which
where? No,
it was one Saturday. So it was after we did the show. It was
tonight. Okay.
Early Sunday morning, maybe 3 and on I forget what channel it was on. It was one of the antenna TV channels, but they had Benny Hill on. I was like, holy crap! It's the Benny Hill show.
Susan, the building that I own, what I'm sitting in right now, this originally began as a cigar store and confectionery shop on the ground floor, which is where I'm sitting, and above was a rooming house for miners. That's how this building began life. This building began life at around the very late 1800s.
The wacky racers, but I loved watching the wacky racers too.
Yeah, me too. I
I
remember
think
that one
I think
very
at
well.
that point though, like because I think they were trying to figure out what to do next because
Penelope Pitstop, Dick Dastardly, Muttley.
they had like Yogi Bear, like the Yogi Yahoos, the Scooby Doobies, and the Really Rottens.
Daddy. Say hi to Daddy.
Yeah,
Say hi, Daddy.
yeah.
No.
It's it's funny because we'll take the show Bewitched. The guy who played Darren, there was two different guys who played Darren.
There was?
Dick
Yeah.
Sargent and
Dick York, I think it was Dick York.
Dick York and Dick Sargent, and together they make Sergeant York.
And it's there you go. But no, like really, like you couldn't. They looked like almost identical. Like you could not really, unless you really looked, you could not tell the difference. That there were two different characters. And well, I think Dick Sargent. Actually, I think he had a role in the Dukes of Hazzards for a little bit as like a stand-in sheriff for Sheriff Roscoe when James Best left the show for whatever reason or like was out for a little bit. And that's
Sorry.
Oh no, I was reading on the outskirts of Houston. There used to be Newton Park. Used to ride past. It was a young kiddo. It was called Hanna-Barbera Land. That would have probably been cool.
Oh, and Venger, ground floor perfumery, stationery and leather goods, wigs and haberdashery, kitchenware and food going up. I also worked at PBS for 3.5 years.
Oh,
so
Gina.
I'm very familiar with Are You Being Served?
Or did we lose FP?
Well,
that's somebody.
Well, FP kind of looks like he lost himself.
Maybe. I can't tell if that was FP's chaired hand or if that was Gina's chair. I don't know. I can't tell.
No, Gina. Gina's gone.
All right, so that's FP hanging with no chair. But going back, like I liked back when Scooby Doo, like remember, like in the early Scooby Doo, like they'd have the they have like that like 70s like band play music like halfway through the show.
Okay, I don't remember
Scooby Doo. Yeah. Like they'd be like running from like the bad guys, and like this band would break into something. Here, I'll put one in the chat. You can click on it. Oh, I don't know if he's watching, but if he watches, do you remember, speaking of like Saturday morning TV shows, do you remember Saved by the Bell? I think we all remember Saved by the Bell.
Vaguely, I never really cared for it.
But there was a show after Saved by the Bell called California Dreams. And the one guy, he wasn't in the original, but like that's how he became like a walk-on character. His name is J. Anthony Franke. He played his character's name was Jake Summers. He was like a good wore like the leather coat and like he was like the Fonzie of the time, so to speak. But if he's watching, what's up, Jay? Let me. I'm sure you know what I'm 99% sure you know. If you hear the song, you know what I'm talking about. Let me see. Yeah, if I could find it.
I'll tell you what. Here's a blitzkrieg from the past while Jay's doing that. Does anybody remember the food and nutritional show called Mulligan Stew? It was like a bunch of kids and they'd go off the rails like on fad diets and stuff, and then you'd find out by the end of the episode why that was so bad. And
I
Bad
think I vaguely
foods.
remember that.
Bad foods and quick diets are bad for you, so don't ever try it. They'll slow you down. But there was like it was like a series, and they were like the kids were all in a band, and they were food obsessed for some reason, and it was just really goofy. They used to actually show it to us in school, like when remember like in school, and the teacher didn't want to be bothered, and we'd have movie day. They would show us Mulligan Stew movies in Dan Flood Elementary.
I put a link in the chat, which is one of the songs from one of their, like when they're being chased by the villains. This band would go into singing a song.
Now I think it's sort of coming back to me.
I just put it in the chat there. So, I remember you
I
liked
can't.
it.
I can't click on it because if I do, I'll lose this.
Yeah,
like I'm on my phone.
Oh yeah, that's true. Remember Electric Company? Hey, you guys!
I think we had this discussion, but that's where Morgan Freeman got his start.
Yeah, we did. And Avenger brought it up, talking about he's like, was Mulligan Stew sort of like the Electric Company?
They were like a band. It's like it was in that kind of like late '60s, early '70s vein. Like there was like a bunch of kids. They had a band. They had no apparent parents, and everything like every time like the show started, they had a song. It was Mulligan Stew, dun-dun-dun, Mulligan Stew, and at actually the last episode, they gave you a recipe. They'd always end the show with a recipe, for something healthy.
Okay.
And the last recipe of the show was Mulligan Stew. And Mulligan was like the main character. He was like a little 8-year-old kid. He was supposed to be the one that, everybody like our age identified with. He's also incidentally the lead singer of the band.
Trying to think. What was I telling? I lost train of thought. I can't remember. But meanwhile, the Legion. No. But it was. Grew up watching all those cartoons and stuff, and now like Saturday mornings, there's no Saturday morning cartoons anymore. You don't see them.
Yeah, grew up watching all that stuff, and let's see. As a 52-year-old adult, I sit and read Batman comics all the time. Batman, Superman.
I'm there with you. I end up watching. I'll check on YouTube. I'll watch like what they were doing for it, and they're still doing it on YouTube. If after coming home from school, watch the Transformers, G.I. Joe. Well, they're running like a live thing for G.I. Joe on YouTube. I think whoever was supposed to change the video either got fired or fell asleep because it's the same thing over. Like I can click on any and it's the same damn thing. I'm like, no.
Yeah, they basically because they had like the cartoon started off with like 2 or 3 different 5-part series.
Yeah,
and they show all of them over and over. I like reading Avenger. I like reading. I like reading the Batman comics. I can't think of the guy's name, but he did write this. I believe he wrote this one. The one writer they have at DC now. And of course, this one doesn't tell me who wrote it.
I don't think so. No, Susan. We've been just chatting. We're glad you're here with us.
Basically, I like the new DC movies. I know a lot of people don't. But to me, like Ben Affleck's Batman, I disagree with Ben Affleck with a lot of things. I don't. I think his politics are disgusting. I think you know, a lot of things, whatever. Um, but nobody plays Batman like Ben Affleck. Like he plays. If you actually read a comic book, a Batman comic book from say 2005 up to the present day, last 20 years, if you read a Batman comic, Ben Affleck has Batman down, the modern Batman down to a T. And Bruce Wayne, he's like, you got to play Bruce Wayne really well to play Batman really well. He's got it nailed. I'm really kind of sad and disappointed that they never did. Like Batman's sort of like in the modern DC, he's sort of an evolved character. Like you never get his backstory
Right.
in the modern DC. I would have liked to have seen a Ben Affleck Batman movie. That would have been really cool.
I've read online and I've seen people that Ben Affleck did do a good job as you know, Batman, and I thought I saw a couple of Ben Affleck movies that I thought were decent. No, they weren't bad, but they said I never saw him as Batman yet. And they said he did actually a really good job.
He plays, like I said, modern Batman, comic Batman, plays him to a T. Plays him really well. Plays Bruce Wayne really well.
I still like Michael Keaton's Batman version.
So do I. You know, there are no wrong answers here. You can enjoy it all.
I wish they do now. Avengers saying about watching like the animated series. I stuck for a little bit. I was watching when it was in its syndication. Batman Beyond, where he picked up that apprentice.
Well, in the comics, Batman has a ton of them. He has, you know, of course, Robin,
right?
Who ends up becoming Nightwing. And then you have Red Robin, and then you have the new Robin, who's actually Bruce Wayne's son. There's Batgirl, Batwoman, Red Hood.
In Batman Beyond, Bruce Wayne's now like, you know, older. He just like he can't do it anymore. His like body just he just can't do it anymore. And the other character's name is because the president's name is Terry, and somehow like Terry helps Bruce Wayne, but then he finds the Bat Cave and finds the Bat Suit and basically steals the Bat Suit and ends up becoming Bruce Wayne's like apprentice, you know, Batman's apprentice. And some of the episodes were pretty good. Like they had a crossover with the new Justice League and the Batman Beyond. They kind of did a crossover, which was pretty cool. Seeing like Superman, like but older.
Well, Superman shouldn't age. You know, Superman's he's an immortal.
Right, but they showed him like he had like gray hair. He had like gray part. His hair was like gray, and like he was leading the new Justice League. That was pretty cool. I would love to like. I saw online that if it actually is somewhere where, you know, in like a theme park or something, it looked authentic. Like it looked like it was a live picture. But the Hall of Justice, like back from like the Super Friends era. But if somebody created that digitally, they did a hell of a job. It turned out really good. Like
in the DC films, the DC Universe films, Wayne Manor, the old Wayne Manor, becomes the Justice League headquarters. Actually, all the actors that they have playing all the characters, the woman who plays Wonder Woman is phenomenal. Like she plays Wonder Woman to a T, like Wonder Woman from the comics. Like if you watch like Justice League cartoons and stuff, Wonder Woman's kind of like a caricature of what she's supposed to. Wonder Woman is like fierce in the comics. She's a brawler. Flash, the guy they have playing the Flash, he's really good. The last Flash movie that just came out not too long ago, I'd highly recommend it.
Yeah, that was a good movie.
Yeah, I love the the whole timeline jumping
And they
thing.
put Ben Affleck and the Flash had the rope, and they were holding it, and they were just blah, 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 blah.
And what was the best was like a few movies ago when when Superman dies in that film, Batman versus Superman.
Yeah.
When they had the Flash actually, Bruce, you're right about him. Don't trust it. Remember, like he comes, like he's like almost like a dream,
Oh yeah, don't trust it. Yeah.
and that was Flash. We find out later that was Flash going back through time to warn Bruce Wayne about Superman.
Doesn't in the comics like Superman go rogue for whatever reason? He turns, or am I thinking cartoon?
Probably cartoon. In the comics to scratch that itch. They have there's like an alternate universe. It's called the Crime League, and the Crime League is headed up by a guy named Ultraman, who is Clark Kent in another universe, who's evil.
Maybe
And Lois Lane is actually like takes on like the Wonder Woman persona. It's actually really cool.
in Batman Beyond, Superman was starting to go rogue or something again, and Batman or Bruce Wayne's telling his apprentice like, if you have to like use like he gave him kryptonite, like if you have to use this, so he went rogue once before.
Well, they entrust Batman with all the. Batman's actually the head of the Justice League because he's the only person without superpowers, and they figure like, well, he's like the most human, so it's the most fair to make him the head of it. Plus, it's all his money.
Yeah, true.
But yeah, like the counterpart in the alternate universe for Batman is Owlman, who is Thomas Wayne. Batman had a brother, or Bruce Wayne had a brother, an older brother, no, younger brother, who died. Maybe. The parents had to put him away. He was, he had problems, and he had to go into an asylum, and then he disappeared, and he was presumed dead. Well, Thomas Wayne, in the alternate universe, when Bruce Wayne's parents get killed, Bruce Wayne gets killed with them, and it's Thomas Wayne who's left as an orphan, and his main fear is owls, so he becomes Owlman. It's neat. Jason Momoa actually makes, even though he looks nothing like the comic book character, he does make a really cool Aquaman.
Now, in the cartoon, like growing up in like the Super Friends cartoon, I don't think they gave Aquaman enough credit or enough. He just like he's a big like he'd always be teaming up with Wonder Woman because she had the plane, and like he like. Oh, it seems like they didn't give him enough action or something.
Superman, you stop the invading aliens. I'll take care of Gotham. Aquaman, go talk to a fish.
If you could enter the world of any classic, okay, here's a good question from Venger. If you could enter the world of any classic retro TV show, which one would it be and why?
When I was a kid, the answer would be easy. I wanted to be part of the Brady Bunch family. Now, I'm not sure.
Any classic retro TV show? Damn. I'd have to say one I think would be the A-Team. Being chased by the army and shit. I was like sneaking away and getting out of the shit. That'd be cool. But
for a crime he didn't commit.
Also, if I had to say a part of Michael Knight and get the car. I would that would be my first. I just be like just to drive the car and go wow car. It's funny because after Knight Rider started, airing, everybody was watching Knight Rider. Oh yeah, I forgot about the two. Yeah, I think everybody's not to cut myself off, but I think everybody's childhood fantasy was like Daisy Duke, like growing up when you were a boy, like Daisy Duke in her shorts. But like, damn, I just lost my train of thoughts and say something. Oh, it's Knight Rider. Oh, I know what I was saying. After the Knight Rider show came out, people were trying to because Kit was an '82 Pontiac Trans Am, and was between a Trans Am and a Firebird. But people were, I guess, wanting to get that car from GM dealers, and they're like, no, that was just you can't get here's the car, you can't get it like Kit. So they actually asked who did Knight Rider? He also did A-Team and everything else, Battlestar Galactica. They actually asked him please stop calling it a Trans Am because it's technically wasn't anymore.
I'm going to answer your question, Venger. I'm going to say that if I were to escape back and be part of any one of those TV worlds and be part of any one of those universes, it would be Battlestar Galactica. Definitely. I would want to be one of the Colonial Army battling Cylons.
Did you watch well, I know it's not but when they rebooted or redid Battlestar Galactica, did you watch that at all?
Yes, I did. In fact, I have every DVD release from it, from spinoffs to the films that the movies that they did, that were in that universe, and I absolutely loved it. I thought it was the best retelling of a story like that I ever read or saw. I thought Edward James Olmos was brilliant as Adama.
Yeah,
I just love the whole thing.
I mean, I will always love the original Battlestar Galactica, like all the way. But when they did, remember in the original series when they found the Pegasus?
Yep.
And then remember, in the reboot where they found the Pegasus and the Admiral was a
It was Ensign Rowe from Star Trek.
Right.
For one thing.
It's funny because somebody commented saying, "How did Ensign Rowe go from almost getting kicked out of Star to becoming an admiral on a Battlestar? To try to connect that. That was pretty funny."
Yeah. No, I forget her name, but she's a brilliant actress. But yeah, that's I don't know. Their universe was really harsh. I kind of like the Battlestar Galactica. Like if I were gonna live in Battlestar Galactica, I think I'd go with the Dirk Benedict, Glenn Larson, Glenn Larson, 1980.
It was it was funny, and I liked it in the original where it was in that episode where they found the Pegasus, and the guy who played Baltar, it's like I don't want to miss the last destruction of the Battlestar, and the other side's like you really need to take a look at this, it can't be. It is when they see the Pegasus and he's like, that's impossible. No, it is a Battlestar. That was like a classic line.
Well, you want to get into something there. I believe the actor's first name was John. I'm not 100% sure. Definitely remember his last name was Calicos. The guy who played Baltar.
Right.
Number one, he got killed in the movie. The original, the pilot. Yeah, the Cylons ran him through. He wasn't their leader. He was a traitor from the Council of the 12. And once his usefulness ended, the Centurion pulled a sword and killed him. So apparently they brought him back to life. They said, "Oh well, he's half man, half electronic, or something." You know, that was the explanation. They resurrected him as some kind of cyborg. But if you go back to Star Trek, the original series, Calicos was a recurring. He was a Klingon character.
Interesting.
So like you don't recognize him because he has like the beard
Klingon,
and the corn. Yeah.
Silver
He was
Spoon.
General Koor, the military governor of I forget the name of the planet. The one planet where they were all energy beings.
Can't remember.
But yeah, he was actually, so you know, Baltar was actually a Klingon before he was Baltar.
Baltar. But it's like, it's fun. Like in the original Star Trek, the Klingons look like humans, just with like beards and shit. Where then
and Deep Space Nine, they came up with an entire explanation for that, which is both cool and really hilarious.
I never, like, I might have missed that episode because I don't remember, or I just forget. I can't remember. Like how it became like from Klingons from like the original to like Worf's Klingon. Like how like got like the
there it had something to do with the superhumans from the Botany Bay. Remember, like Ricardo Montalban?
Khan.
Right. They're like some kind of weird cross between them and Klingons, and then
it became that.
Like that particular, for that time period, like that particular type of Klingon became dominant.
Interesting.
Yeah, they were like some kind of like weird cross between they were hybrids between the Ricardo Montalban's people and actual Klingons. Yeah. So they looked more human. And then the other the crabhead Klingon started gaining dominance again and overthrew them as like a leadership.
Ricardo Montalban did not get enough what's what I'm looking for as playing
credit?
Credit. Yeah, he did not get enough credit for like everybody loved him as, you know, Mr. Rourke from Fantasy Island, but he never got the credit for playing Khan. Like,
oh yeah, he played a bad guy really well.
He did, and like Khan, like when he was playing Khan, is like he could like kick your ass and kill you, but like he'd just be like, now you can't get away, you know. And
Captain Kirk, I am 5 times your physical strength.
Avenger, Laverne Shirley was a good show. Spin-off of Happy Days.
I also want to say that now, you know, if you're talking about stuff from our childhood, if what, you know, universe out, you know, TV show, you know, emphasis on TV show. I'd like to escape back into and live there. That would be Battlestar Galactica. If you're talking character, what character, like in a comic book universe, movie universe, I would want to be? Definitely Magneto. Magneto is like the coolest villain on the planet.
You put it, I was a nerd, but grew up watching horror movies. My stepfather, who adopted me at 8 or 16, even though I never knew anyone else as my father. Great weight shit, even though he was part Hispanic. Mr. Belvedere, I remember that show. I remember that, Mr. Belvedere. I don't watch a lot, but was it the one? Oh wait, was it the Wonder Years? Or what show? Remember the character Mr. Feeney? Can't remember what show it was.
Well, Shirley from Laverne and Shirley, her last name is Feeney.
That was Marshall. Oh wait, yeah.
No, you're saying, now you're thinking of the actress Penny Marshall who played Laverne.
Yeah. But Mr. Feeney from I want to say the Wonder Years. But William McDaniel's actually the voice of Kit. Mr.
Yeah,
Belvedere.
from St. Elsewhere.
Yeah. It's but going back even to like late 60s, early 70s. Or no, it has to be late 70s. I'm sorry. My remember this the TV show Soap?
Oh yeah.
They run that on antenna TV every so often. I catch it. And it's still it's still a good show.
The ventriloquist guy is hilarious.
Oh yeah. I forget what's the name of it.
Everybody treats the dummy like it's a real person.
I'm trying to think what the dummy's name was, and I can't remember. I'm blanking. Oh, was it Chuck? Was he?
Yeah.
The dummy
Yeah, it was, I believe.
Chuck was the dummy or the ventriloquist. I forget.
I like MacGyver. I would have went to MacGyver's universe.
MacGyver's?
MacGyver. You know, the guy that built the weird shit?
MacGyver could like get out of a locked room with like a hairpin, or yeah.
Well, no, it's more. Always more intricate than that. He would need a hairpin, a rubber band, some baking soda,
and some toothpaste.
Yeah, it was never just like, oh, let me grab my pocket knife. No, it was an entire ingredients list that he had to come up with out of a junk drawer somewhere.
It always worked. Now, do you remember the show? Now, it's a little bit. Do you remember the show Auto Man?
Oh God, yeah. It was like a ripoff of Tron.
Yeah. Computer calling Auto Man and she'd appear.
That was Desi Arnaz Jr.
Was that the one who played Auto Man, Desi Arnaz?
No, he was the scientist guy.
Okay, I was gonna say I don't remember. Yeah, I remember him being in it.
His name is Auto Man. He's the world's first automatic man. Whatever the hell that means.
Yeah. The auto car, I think, was actually like a Lamborghini. I think, if I remember right.
Painted up in neon. Well, you want to get into those shows? Let's see. You have Auto Man, Manimal. Remember Manimal? The guy who basically would be able to transform into any animal he chose.
I remember the show, but for some reason I could not. I didn't watch it. I don't remember why. I remember that show that you bring it up.
Yeah, and then there was like Firefox, not Firefox. I can't remember the name. It was basically a helicopter that was basically Kit.
Airwolf.
Airwolf, thank you. And then there was a motorcycle that was basically Kit. Because everybody just wanted to capitalize on the whole Kit thing.
Right. Oh yeah. I remember the motorcycle thing. I didn't watch it though. Like I thought it was stupid. I never watched it.
My favorite though, absolutely had to be the Master. Remember the Master? He was a ninja.
Oh, and he was training somebody.
Yeah, it was.
I remember.
Timothy Van Patten played the guy who was being,
Do you guys remember that? I don't know. I think it was called like Black Thunder or something.
Blue Thunder.
Blue Thunder.
It was Hulk Hogan's version of Kit, but as a boat.
Thunder in Paradise.
Was it? It was Thunder in Paradise. Yeah.
This must be just like thunder in paradise.
I remember that. It was like a kid. It was like Kit, but it was a boat, but it didn't talk. I remember that. It was another one that was almost like Knight Rider.
Yeah.
Let me think. What kind of car was that? Dodge Viper. It was called Viper. I think it was a Dodge Viper, but it was like almost like it, but it didn't. Like it couldn't like drive itself. It was a Dodge Viper.
Well, yeah, with a 10-cylinder engine, it would be really hard to drive yourself. They don't even make Vipers anymore.
No, I don't think they. No, they don't.
I'm sorry, but Murder She Wrote Venger, whoever was like the biggest name star that was on the show that week, you knew they were the killer.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, James Woods is on this week. Yeah, he's the killer.
It's
I never got into Quantum Leap.
no, I might have watched it here and there if like there was nothing else better on. But no, I couldn't get into Quantum Leap either.
Which, interestingly enough, he went on Bakula. He went on to play Captain Archer in the Star Trek prequel
Enterprise.
series.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the guy who used to be his, I don't know, his contact, whatever, he went on to be in Battlestar Galactica all over the place. He was one of the
Scott Bakula, didn't he? Isn't he? Is it? I get him confused with another guy. Is it? He ended up going on was it NCIS New Orleans or something?
Gina would know more about that than me. I never really watched those things. I watch those things like if she's watching it, I'll watch it with her.
Right. I think Scott Bakula ended up on NCIS. I think. Now, actually, I like the NCIS Los Angeles. I used to like on Ion on Sundays. Ion would play NCIS Los Angeles, and it was like LL Cool J played one character, and who was that other? Do you remember the Batman movie where it was George Clooney?
Okay.
The guy who ended up playing Robin. I forget his name, but he played in this in NCS Los Angeles with LL Cool J. He was like his partner.
I remember the actor. He was in back in the '90s. He was in a ton of stuff.
I can't remember his name.
Yeah, me either. I know who you mean though.
Yeah, he ended up.
He was in Scent of a Woman with Al Pacino.
So I remember I started watching NCS Los Angeles because at that point I didn't have cable, and I was able to get Ion. And I can't get Ion upstairs to save my life anymore. I don't know why. It's just the antenn's not picking it up. But I'm like, that's the guy from Batman and Robin. And yeah, it was.
Hey Mark, if you remember the Little Rascals, Peter Falk actually got his start, if I remember correctly. Peter Falk got his start on the Little Rascals as Mickey. He was like, if you like, one of the last iterations, like during the remember Froggy?
Yeah.
That kid,
Oh yeah.
That kid. He died at 16. He died at 16 in a bicycle accident delivering newspapers. Actually,
Did not know that.
yeah, he did star in one movie after the Little Rascals was done, and he got good critical reviews and everything. But yeah, during the Froggy era of the Little Rascals, if you remember the character Mickey, he's the one. His parents were getting divorced, and it was all over the radio at the time.
I
Like
can't remember.
like in the show.
I remember the Froggy character, but I don't remember that. I don't remember that.
Well, there was a character during that era. I mean, Spanky was through all of it.
Right.
But during the Froggy era, there was one of the kids. They had a character. His name was Mickey. That was Peter Falk. He went on to play Columbo.
Oh shit! Also, you know who actually also like made it? Who actually from the Little Rascals and was named Jack?
They all came. A lot of them. I was gonna say a lot of them came to tragic ends.
Yeah.
Jackie Cooper.
Yeah, it wasn't. Is that was his name? He ended up playing in the Superman movies as Perry White.
I believe you're right.
One of the Little Rascals.
Alfalfa, the guy who played Schweitzer, his name was. He ended up getting shot over $50.
Yeah, they said like I was watching on YouTube like the backstory of the Little Rascals, like when when they weren't technically let me see, this was Miami because okay. They said the guy who played Alfalfa was like a real asshole, like in real life. And he ended up getting killed somehow, but I didn't remember how he got killed. But yeah, he got killed.
And then there was if you remember the Buddy Holly story with Gary Busey, during the scene where Buddy Holly plays the Apollo Theater in Harlem. There's a guy who the curtain operator. He has quite a few lines. It's one of the funniest lines in the movie, actually. I'm not going to repeat it because it would be considered racist in today's vernacular. But he was wearing a bowler hat.
Okay.
He was actually, it was a walk-on cameo that a lot of people missed. He was Stymie from the Little Rascals, and he was wearing the same hat.
Stymie. I remember Stymie.
Remember Stymie? They had that big bowler hat that was too big for him.
Yeah.
It was actually Laurel from Laurel and Hardy who gave him that hat. Remember,
I remember Laurel and Hardy. Yep.
Remember Stan? I don't know. It was Stan or Oliver Laurel or Stan Laurel. Sorry, it was all Stan Laurel, Oliver Hardy.
Gave Stymie that hat that he used in the show.
He's like, kid, you need something, and he took his hat off and put it on his head, and he's like, there, that looks better. And the kid wore that hat for the rest of his life. Like I said, even in the Buddy Holly story, he was wearing that hat as an old man. As an old man. But I just thought, there's a lot of stuff that carries over from like the Little Rascals. I when I was a kid, I absolutely loved the Little Rascals. I still do.
Or how did they build like these whether it was like say like a go-kart or something like how they come up with their things they build, and I tried doing that. I'd be like, shit, didn't work.
Or how about the He-Man Woman Haters Club?
Give me a high sign.
That's Curly. Yeah, the Three Stooges.
They did that in the Little Rascals too for the He-Man Woman Haters Club.
That's right. I'll tell you what though, my favorite episode of the Little Rascals absolutely had to be the haunted house, where the buzzsaw comes out of the ceiling, and they think that they think their heads are going to get cut off, and they thought it was like a real haunted house, and it was just a ride in like an amusement park.
I remember that. I can't remember that.
Oh, that had to be my favorite one.
There was one, and I can't remember the episode. I can't remember, but I can remember part of it. One of them, he was like a really heavy kid, and I guess he was trying to impress his teacher.
Chubsy.
Don't call me Norman. Call me Chubsy Ubsy.
That's right.
Little Rascals. That was.
And then the bully was Butch, and actually, like Butch was like best friends with everybody. The real bully on set was actually Alfalfa.
That's what they were saying. Like he was like a real like Alfalfa outside of this cat. Like him was an asshole.
Yeah, he was like a really like he would bully the other kids on set, and it was like apparently like Butch and Spanky were best friends.
Like the bully on the team was actually like one of the
the nicer kids.
Yeah,
Butch and Woim. Where Butch would say, I'm gonna kick your ass, and Woim would be like, yeah, what he said. I don't know. The Depression era must have been an interesting time.
Sure it was. There was a lady. She's been passed on for years, but she used to do cooking shows on YouTube. Her name was Claire. She was one of the last videos she did. She was 92 years old, and she would make food that they ate during the Great Depression. She would tell stories. Some of those stories, man, I'm like, were very like interesting. Like, I was like, that. Like, she explained one time she was saying how she had to leave school because her parents couldn't buy her socks. Well, stockings. They were stockings. Like that's how poor they were. They couldn't afford socks. So the school's like, you can't come to school because you need socks. And they learned how to plant their own like vegetables, and like they found ways to make it work.
Well, yeah, it's like depression cake. I think it is. Like they would use Coca-Cola as the sugar, like because a nickel for a bottle of Coke was cheaper than I don't know
Buying
however much.
sugar.
Yeah, like buying like a 1 pound bag of sugar was like it was a lot cheaper to just buy a bottle of Coca-Cola.
Susan has a question. I know this is a long shot here, but what is the Western movie or show where a lady shot and killed her husband because he was abusive to her, and then he started hitting the little boy one day? She left the house and she left the house. She might have burned it and met a man with kids whose wife died. I don't know. Not ringing a bell, Susan. I'm sorry. I don't know.
Yeah, it doesn't sound familiar to me.
There was like I never really got into Western movies except one. It was in the 80s. It was a remake, Stagecoach, and I couldn't tell you who played in the original, but the remake it was Waylon Jennings, Johnny Cash, Chris Christopherson, John Schneider, and
Willie Nelson has to be in there because you're talking like you just
yeah,
named three. You just named 3 of the 4 highwaymen. So
yeah, Willie Nelson played like the doctor, like Doc Holliday.
Gina's back and she's talking to me, but I have headphones on, so I can't hear her.
This is what almost killed me an hour.
I saw this. I put it on the sink.
Yeah, that's what almost killed me.
See this?
What's up, Random Adventure? Thanks for hanging with us.
It's a freaking knob.
A doorknob.
That looks like a doorknob from like 70s.
70s?
From
More
looking
like
at
the 30s.
Okay, damn.
This is like a marble doorknob. It's at the top of the cellar steps.
Uh-huh.
And apparently it came off in Gina's hand.
As I was trying to close it while coming down the steps.
Because Gina's like incredibly strong, like stronger than she doesn't know her own strength.
Shira.
And she pulled the door shut, and this came off in her hand.
Hey, Tony.
You can see there's paint on it because back in the 50s, everybody decided to paint everything, like doorknobs, locks, trim, like floors. People would just paint everything back then. I'd like to go back in time and just smack some of these people because this stuff would be so great if it didn't have coats and coats of paint over it.
Yeah, that's what almost killed me today.
And Gina almost died earlier because of doorknobs.
Oh.
Because of that doorknob. I almost went backwards down the freaking steps.
Gina went backwards in time.
Almost.
You wish it was backwards in time.
Gina just actually brought up something that was that made me think for a minute.
Taking this up with me.
When she was calling herself Shira.
I really am not feeling well, but I need alcohol to help me fall asleep.
The Shira cartoon? Are you familiar do you remember the Shira cartoon?
Well, I didn't exactly sit and watch it.
But you know what
Shira cartoon.
They had a movie. It was called He-Man and
He-Man.
Yeah, I turned it off after He-Man.
It was, but how they ran like the two together to kind of like merge the stories. They actually did a really good job of that.
I'll take you out. Want to go out?
That was a loose thing, She-Ra was He-Man's long-lost twin sister, whatever. It's like his mother didn't know that she had 2 kids.
It's funny. I was watching.
Or that dad cheated on her.
No, actually, the way they ran it, the way the start, I actually watched this like a month ago because it caught my interest. The you know the king and queen had the boy and the girl, and Skeletor was like an apprentice to like this other guy who kidnapped the girl and left, but left Skeletor, like abandoned Skeletor on where they were at, and the way they did it was pretty cool, but like the sorceress cast a spell over everybody except for the husband, like except for like 3 people that like knew who she was. It's like so that everybody else would forget.
Spoiler alert: the sorceress was Teela's mother.
Oh yeah, that's right. I remember that episode. Now that you bring it up, I remember that because she was like Man at Arms like adopted her or something.
Yeah, because I don't know, the sorceress was too busy to
Take care
bother
of
with her.
It's
Yeah, you really come down to it. I mean, you look at some of the things we were exposed to as children, and it's kind of horrible.
but
It's
even
like the sorceress had her sorceress career at Grayskull, and she just couldn't take care of Teela. So she gave Teela away to
Man at
some
Arms.
armorer.
But you know what's funny? Like when you watch like cartoons back from the 70s and 80s, like when they show last night while I was laying down, I had the DVD movie laying on the tan middle, bang them into. Avengers got some paranormal activity. But no, it's like if take a look at like the cartoon She-Ra, or even the other one, Masters of the Masters of the Universe. Like they drew like the girls like Teela, like they showed like she had some like even for a cartoon she had some cleavage going. Like they would draw characters like pretty like damn, like to kids.
Actually,
Like,
that particular studio, they if you notice, like a lot of the action is similar. Like when He-Man throws the sword from one hand to the other, or when he's running, or they engage in a and animators consider it a cheat. It's called rotoscoping, where you take live action film. They would film like live action actors,
like running and
and,
stuff or doing.
yeah, all that stuff, and then they would trace an outline of their body, and then fill in the blanks as far as like make it look like He-Man or whoever.
Cartoon.
Yeah, but it's the technique's called rotoscoping, where you trace live action and go frame by frame and trace out each live action still, and that's why it looks kind of different, I guess you could say. But rotoscoping was actually very common in the 70s and 80s, and like I said, a lot of animators at the time considered it a cheat.
They weren't actually like anime. Well, it was anime, but it was taken from
live action. It was tracing live action basically.
kind of like how AI is today.
Well, I mean, as far as that goes, AI is a huge cheat. Yeah.
I was watching a commercial somewhere. They were talking about AI, like where this girl's like, "Oh, I'm a writer, but if I had to use my head, I just use AI." Like, okay. If I actually sat there and wrote this, this is all like you put this in and it gives you a pilot or plot, and like, damn.
I don't know. The book I wrote, Dead Angels Bleed, I got the idea the old-fashioned way. I had a dream about it and woke up and wrote it down.
I wish I could dream. I haven't been able to dream in a while. Like I miss dreaming. I love to dream. Just that doesn't happen.
You tend to dream less, especially if you've had high exposure to fluoride in your life, like tap water and stuff like that. Fluoride, dreams come from the pineal gland.
Mm-hmm.
It's a gland at the very center of your brain. Looks like a pine cone.
Okay.
It's called the third eye because it actually has rods and cones in it like an eyeball.
Oh, okay. Ooh.
And you can actually, like, it's your mind's eye. You can see through it, like, if you know what you're doing. But fluoride actually calcifies your pineal gland, and if you've had like exposure to it over a period of years and years, the more calcified it becomes. And yeah, you tend to dream less as you get older because of that.
Damn it.
I mean, it could be reversed from what I remember. Like if you stop fluoride intake, a lot of people out there are going to like say, "Oh, Mikey's going woo woo on us." But I'll tell you what, man, I don't go near fluoride. Like, I don't drink tap water. I don't.
I'm trying to think, like, how did I get exposed to fluoride? And I don't know how I would do it because, again, I don't drink tap water at all.
You cook with water?
There you go.
Yeah. Does it come out of the tap when you I mean, everything I do, except for like washing dishes. But if I'm going to cook with water, it's spring water out of a bottle. It's I only ever use bottled water for anything I'm going to drink or any kind of food I'm going to take in. It's always bottled water.
That's true.
You get right down to it. It's actually cheaper. I mean, if you pay a water bill every month, you don't really notice paying $1 for a gallon of water.
No, it's fun. Sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, like, if you take into account, I mean, look at Flint, Michigan, or that's Flint, Michigan. They got caught. If you take, there are kits out there that you can examine what's in your tap water. If you look at what's actually in your tap water, like between chemicals, like obviously chlorine,
right?
But I mean, like heavy metals, like lead. There's all kinds of crap in tap water, and it really, you shouldn't drink it. You probably shouldn't shower in it, but I kind of don't have a choice there.
Yeah. Who's afraid of Virginia Woolf? Never heard of. Never heard of Virginia Woolf. Bender said he had the crazy stream 2 nights ago.
Yeah, it's actually when I was talking about how your pineal gland calcifies. When they do an MRI or a CAT scan, if that's actually how they use that in older people, like people our age, I should say, to determine if you have a brain tumor. Because if that pineal gland is like off center in any direction, then there's some kind of mass inside the brain pushing it to one place or another, because it's supposed to be dead center. And I've actually, if you've seen like a calcified pineal gland on a CAT scan or a PET scan, or not a PET scan, a CAT scan or an MRI, when they're calcified, they show up as being bright white. So that's Mikey science for today, and knowing is half the battle and all that stuff.
G.I. Joe. Oh, that's G.I. Joe.
That's exactly where I ripped that off from.
Now it'd be like, thanks. Now we know. No one's half the battle. G.I. Joe.
G.I. Joe. Jay, here's one for you. Look up when you get time. Look up pork chop sandwiches. There are people out there who take the G.I. Joe public service announcements and revoice them and turn them into other things that are absolutely hilarious.
Pork chop sandwiches, G.I. Joe. I'll have to look at that. Yeah, I'll have to look at that.
Yeah, there's some really funny stuff out there. Especially the ones with Roadblock.
No, another voice actor who I don't think got enough credit either, but Chris Latta.
Who's that?
He voiced Cobra Commander in Starscream.
Oh yeah, he died.
Yeah.
He was in the movie Roadhouse, actually.
Was he?
Yeah, I remember the guy offering his girlfriend or wife to kiss one or both of her breasts for $20 each.
That was Chris Latta?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Well, go back and watch it. You'll recognize his voice immediately because you cannot not recognize that voice.
It's funny because they did a in Transform, like the TV show, the cartoon Transformers G1. After like they killed off Optimus Prime and shit, but
Yeah.
they had a crossover with Cobra Commander, and at the end, at like I guess the new terrorist is trying to buy like stuff like equipment off of Cobra, but they couldn't call it Cobra. It's just like he was calling Cobra Commander Snake, and his organization instead of saying like Cobra. But at the end,
Well, they're both Hasbro properties. Why couldn't they do that?
I have no idea, but it's funny. Like at the end of the episode, they show Cobra. Now Cobra Commander has like he has the metal face like he did in G.I. Joe, but he's wearing like a big hat and like an overcoat, and he's walking down the street like in the dark, but like you see like underneath like a street lamp, and he's like, they don't make terrorists like they used to, and he's like he's like but he's like, you can tell like older like Cobra, like he starts coughing, but it was just cool how they did that crossover. Like they don't make terrorists like they used to. Cobra, as he's walking away in Transformers TV show.
Oh god, Cobra Commander in the comics was absolutely brutal. He wasn't the joke that he was in the animated series.
Didn't he like in the comics, like he was like he would like fuck you up, mess you up.
He was trying to kill his own son. His own son, because his son's name was Billy, and just because he knew who he was, the kid ended up with like an amputated leg and a coma. Actually, him and Destro in disguise went to visit him in the hospital and stuff, and they were like, "Oh," he's like, "Oh my god, I can't believe I did this to my own son."
Destro.
Yeah, like Cobra Commander was absolutely ruthless and brutal in the comics. Like he was not, definitely wasn't the joke that he was on TV.
Yeah,
not the whole, why am I surrounded by idiots?
Mr. Gus, wait, how you doing, family of three? Mr. Gus, I'm Kevin, Michael, Rich. Oh crap! To think of stuff like that on a like weekly, like you had to like. I give those writers credit back in the day because like today's like they'll try and do a show. Oh, we'll call it reality. That's right. Those reality shows I cannot stand.
Well, the G.I. Joe comics were actually written by a guy named Larry Hama. He was a Vietnam vet. If you remember the character Tunnel Rat was actually a character that Hasbro created based on Larry Hama.
I don't remember that character.
Yeah, they actually based a lot of characters on real life people. Owen King, Stephen King's son, actually got a character because they found out because they were both New England, like Hasbro was a New England company. And when they found out that Stephen King's youngest son was a huge fan of, the comic and the line, they actually I can't remember the character's name. He was like he didn't get much of a thing in the cartoon. He was like a psychic guy. He was like a horror themed character, and they said his real name was Owen King, which Owen King was, of course, Stephen King's younger son. But yeah, the Sergeant Slaughter. Yeah, they actually a lot of times they base characters on real people.
I kind of liked when I did the Sergeant Slaughter thing, but kind of didn't. I don't know. I liked it, but I didn't.
That's when they got into Cobra Law and like all that ridiculousness. And
Yeah.
yeah, in the comics that was
Burgess Meredith played a good voice at being like
Globulus.
Yeah, but like they showed how like Cobra Commander like was born or made or created or somehow like whatever the hell happened to him.
You mean Serpentor?
No, Cobra Commander.
Oh, okay, yeah. That was not Cobra Commander's actual like comic book wise. That was not his origin story.
Oh no, in the
Believe it or not, Cobra Commander started off as a used car salesman.
Basically went rogue and got pissed off at the world, so I'm just become a terrorist.
Pretty much, he started a terrorist organization out of his used car lot, and grew it into Cobra. But basically, and of course, that was in a town called Springfield. That's where the Crimson Guard, they were basically like normal, regular guys, lawyers, and tax attorney or tax guys and stuff like that, accountants, and they were
funds into the terror organization. And
yeah, and they were that by day, and by night they were terrorists with AK-47s. But yeah, that's how he grew his organization, basically using those guys to create do creative financial stuff to But yeah, like Serpentor, Larry Hama, as I said, was the head writer for G.I. Joe the comic book, and he found the whole concept of Serpentor to be ridiculous, and he literally killed him after 7 issues because he had total creative control over the comic. So they would tell him, like, you have to, because of the toy line, you have to introduce this. Okay, I'll introduce that character, and then it doesn't mean I'm not going to kill him 7 issues later, but.
It's like even with the cartoon, like you saw Serpentor in like maybe 5 or 6 episodes, and like he like disappeared, and like you never heard of him again.
He lasted a whole season, I think.
Maybe.
I am Serpentor, and this I command.
Then after like the season, he was like gone.
I will say the Viper character, the Viper troopers, they were cool. They had like the chrome masks, like Cobra Commander.
Oh yeah, they were cool. Yeah, I like them.
Yeah, they were like the upgrade of like the black mask guys. I still have I have it up in the attic. I have an entire storage bin filled with G.I. Joe action figures from 20 years ago.
G.I. Joe. I will get you, G.I. Joe.
Yeah, G.I. Joe, they were like in the comics, they had their base was called the Pit. It was like this whole underground city that was like underneath like an army base like Nellis or something like that. And they thought that they thought the Joes were motor pool guys. Because they were always hanging around the motor pool, the base, like the elevator down to the base was in the motor pool.
Okay.
So they thought they were just a bunch of like grease monkeys and mechanics, and they were actually like an elite force of guys that dealt with Cobra, who were domestic terrorists. And comic was a lot of fun.
I wish I got more into comics when I was a kid, but I waited for the cartoons to come out.
And that's the thing. Like the cartoons are just always like even Transformers. They're just watered down versions of what was going on in the comics. They were all produced by Marvel. Remember, like at the end of each one, it would say Marvel Sunbow production.
Oh yeah. I was watching a YouTube video. It was like the Transformers, like.
Oh, we lost Jay.
Uh-oh. We have technical difficulties.
We are experiencing technical difficulties. Please stand by. Of course, Jay would have to vanish when I have to pee. There he is. Now you can buy FP at Shelly Dog.
I lost. I got kicked out for a minute. Sorry.
FP has the chili dog spot.
Cool. Yeah, my computer for my laptop froze for me. I was like, oh shit. And,
well, it's a pretty fast restart.
Well, it was a quick. It lost connection, but then it reconnected again for something. Well, I forget what I was saying. I was saying something. I was like, oh damn it, I got lost connection.
We were talking about G.I. Joe comics.
Right, and my computer glitched, and I'm like, shit, I've lost my train of thought. I don't know. Cleveland Brown, hey y'all.
I'm going to get some interference because I'm away from the phone right now.
Gotcha. But yeah, Avenger, it's good to see you back in the chat, buddy. Let me tell you.
Yeah, the shop door is metal, and I have it it's like a partial steel door. I have it open, but there's still distance.
So, P, what are your plans for tomorrow? Anything? Oh, you left. Like, where'd he go?
Well, I'll answer the question. I'm gonna lay around tomorrow. I'm gonna eat tacos because I made about 2.5 pounds of taco meat.
Nice.
Yeah, I went out to dinner with the Crime Watch people.
Oh, how's that going?
Okay. I actually don't take over the coordinator position until next month. So, and I like I said, I got a seat on the board as well. But Gina and I were invited out to go out to dinner at El Tikal. I don't know if you're familiar with that. It's a Mexican restaurant.
El what?
Tikal, Tikal.
Never heard of it. No shit.
It's on J. Campbell Drive. You know where Odyssey Fitness is?
Yeah.
It's in that building.
Oh, that's why I didn't know about it.
Yeah, there's a really really schwank Mexican restaurant in there.
Nice. I'll check it.
Yeah. The food's really good. My only complaint is I had tacos there, and they were just greasy as they were the greasiest tacos I ever had in my whole life. They're good, but it kind of just made me pine for my own. I actually tipped the guy pretty well because he was complimenting me on my Spanish and stuff. So I was speaking Spanish with him. And he was saying more or less hey, keep it up, you're doing good. That kind of...
It's when I was at Picky Woods today, I was telling him about Burrito Loco. There's a Burrito Loco somewhere up in Scranton somewhere, and I'm like, you got to go try it. You have to go get this food. Food's amazing. And I knew I forgot something. I was talking to Rob Gingell the other day.
Really?
Yeah, he texted me, and
it's actually his birthday today.
Oh, happy birthday, Rob! Rob G. He is a grandfather once again.
Really?
Yeah, he's a grandfather again. He sent me a picture of the baby.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So Rob, if you watch, I don't know if Rob watches the show or not. I don't know, but if you are, congratulations from all of us. Yeah, I knew I wanted it, and I forgot all about it. It's what comic hero villain that has yet to be what comic hero villain that has yet to be supported cinematically would you like to see?
That's a really good question. I'd have to say one thing that the modern DC did not do justice to is Superman's archenemy, Superman, the guy who actually killed Superman. And if you understood his backstory, you know that DC got it completely wrong. Doomsday. Doomsday was not a reincarnation of General Zod as it was portrayed. I thought it was an interesting idea, but Doomsday has a much more hurtful background. And to just say, oh, we're going to drag General Zod's dead body into some DNA pea soup and it's, inject Lex Luthor's blood into it and Doomsday is going to come out. No, Doomsday is like way more.
How did they kill off Superman?
There was a being named Doomsday that crashed into Earth and started a rampage and decided that it was going to destroy Metropolis. And the entire Justice League did battle with it, and he beat the living hell out of all of them. And it came down to him and Superman, and they killed each other right in front of the Daily Planet.
Oh, like the Superman's supposed to be like immortal.
Immortal to a point. The Highlander is only immortal until you cut his head off.
I loved the original movie.
Me too.
I even liked the show with Adrian Paul.
It was okay.
It was good. It was cool. I mean, nothing will ever beat Christopher Lambert's character, but
it's like this. It's like for everything Highlander, you have to ignore anything that came before for it to work.
Right.
If you like the series, well, you got to ignore the movie, the first movie, the second movie. If you want the third movie to work, you got to ignore the second movie and kind of the first one.
Didn't they do it almost like backwards? Like the first movie, like the last movie was supposed to be like the second episode, like second movie or something to that weird shit. But like the first, like the Highlander with the original movie, I thought was awesome with how they had Sean Connery in it too.
From the dawn of time we came, moving silently down through the centuries.
Ramirez. It's funny, like Sean Connery's like, you smell like a dung heap.
In fact, the reason why they resurrected Sean Connery's character in the sequel in Highlander 2 was because Christopher Lambert said he wouldn't do the second film unless they figured out a way to bring him and Sean Connery developed a really good friendship during the first film.
Right.
And he really wanted to work with him again. He's like, if you can figure out a way to resurrect Sean Connery's character, you can figure out a way to resurrect Ramirez, I'll do it.
It kind of was stupid where he's like, they say he was from another planet. That was kind of dumb.
Zeist.
Yeah, that was stupid.
The planet Zeist. That's like any Highlander fan hates to hear the word Zeist.
But in the beginning, it was cool though. Like they showed Lambert as an old guy, just looking to just have a drink, and some lady tries to beat him up, and he's like, I just want to be left alone. And then the two thugs from Planet Zeist come, and he cuts off and he takes their power. He's now like a young guy again. He's like, haha, sorry. Oh no, that was more. They also had.
Oh,
go ahead.
Huh? I was gonna say the whole premise for the second film was stupid.
Yeah.
The third film was even dumber.
Endgame was good.
I hated it.
Really?
I gave it away, like the DVD. I had a woman I worked for at the time was a huge fan of the series, and the fact that Adrian Paul's character killed Christopher Lambert's character, it's like no, Christopher. Connor McLeod is the guy who wins the prize. To backtrack on that and just total no.
It's funny because in the first movie, Mortal Kombat, Christopher Lambert played Raiden, and during one part, like he punches like his guy was winning, so he punches one of the thugs. He's like, ha! So, but like he had that like he did the Highlander laugh. He's like, sorry. If you didn't notice it, you didn't catch it, but yeah, I caught it.
Ooh, skunk sprayed. We got a lot of skunks around here.
Well, guys, it's almost midnight. I got work in the morning. But yeah, thanks guys for hanging out for the birthday show. Thanks Eugene if she's still watching.
I think she went to bed.
Venger, I didn't see Mark's type, but Venger, Mark, all you guys, Susan, thanks for hanging out. And until next week, same bat time, same bat channel, or SGW channel. I don't know. All right, guys, have a great night.
You too. Great hanging with you.